Good morning, everyone. Today we are coming across the first chapter of economics, and that first chapter of economics is development. Development we are learning because we are seeing all sorts of development in our day-to-day life as well as in our area surrounding in the whole country. So we should know how this development takes place or what are the criteria of development. First, let us understand what does the concept development mean. The concept development means slow and gradual progress. Why we are saying slow? Because the construction of a bridge or the construction of a road or any kind of life activity also cannot take place only in a single day. So we are saying that it is a slow process. So that is why we have termed development as a slow and continuous activity. We will also come across that development, how the term development can be defined. The term development can be meant or can be understood in a varied way. We have written down that in the terms of introduction, we can see that there are need and desires in the case of development. Everyone has certain or the other needs in their day-to-day life. The need turn into desires. That is why we are saying that the need is short-term, whereas desires of our life is long-term. What is your need? Your need is to pass class 10 examination with good number, and the desire in your life is to become an engineer, is to become a doctor, is to become an accountant, is to become a teacher or something or the other. Therefore, we are saying that the need is short term, whereas desires are long term. Now, needs are also that we can process our needs. That means the need does not remain fixed, whereas the desires are fixed. The need changes from time to time. The desires do not change. That is why need is not a long term. Need changes from time to time. After passing out class 10, your aim will be to pass out class 12. That is what, if you are driving cycle, you want to drive motorcycle. Later on you want a car. So the need changes from time to time, whereas the desires remain fixed. In this way, we can differentiate need and desires. And these needs and desires define the life of a person. The life of a person is defined by the needs and desires. If we do not have needs and desires in our life, we cannot develop in the future. Now let us understand that the needs also varies from person to person. We can see, we have written down here that the needs vary from person to person. How can we say that needs vary from person to person? I'll give you a brief example. There are two types of people. One who stay in the rural area. One who stay in the city areas or dwell in the city areas. The people who stay in the rural area, for them the need is a good all-weather road so that they can come to their house and they can go to the city or to a nearby town to do the work. What happens in the rainy season, that their connection with the village to the town is lost. And so, for the people living in the rural area, the most important need is to have an all-weather road. On the other hand, for the people who are staying in the city area, the roads are well constructed. And it can also be utilized in the rainy seasons. But for the people who are staying in the city area, for them the need is not all-weather road, but a good transit system. Why? So that the congestion over the road can be solved. So you can understand that the need varies from person to person. Similarly, we have written another statement, that is, what is development for one can be destructive or is destructive for the other. What can be development for me cannot be considered as development for the other. Suppose I am a teacher, my basic field is education, so I am attached with it. So that is my field of development. But if I ask a rickshaw puller that it is development for you also, no, it cannot be development for him. So development varies from person to person. How we can understand this? I'll give you another example, that suppose a dam is being constructed. If a dam is being constructed, what it will be development? It will be development for the people who are opening up industries, because they will get continuous electricity. The water can also be utilized for various materials, so therefore we can say it is development for them, for the people who are staying in the city areas, or for the people who are opening the industries. But what will happen to the people who are living near to the surrounding area, who are living near to the river and all? The area, because of the construction of the dam, will get flooded, and they will have to leave that catchment area. They will have to evacuate that area. So therefore, therefore we can say that what is development for one cannot be considered as development for another person. What is development for one group cannot be considered as development for another person. Now, we will also try to understand development on the basis of income and goals. Now, suppose development is not only based on income, there are many other things which are attached with income that you require in your life. Now, income, if you are paid a good amount of salary, but you have a restless work, you need to stay out of the house, you do not have any kind of leaves, or you do not have any kind of facilities to meet your friends, to gossip with your family or friends. In that case, that hard work may make you earn money, but that kind of money that you are earning or the work that you are doing will not be a long time work. A long time work with good salary is that when income and all other basic needs is fulfilled. Like, if you get an average income of, suppose the person who was earning 1 lakh, he had restless work, and the person who was earning 30,000 or 40,000, he has everything managed. That means he can give time to his family, he can meet his friends in the times of vacation or in the times of festives, he can meet his relatives and spend time with the family. That person will be able to see development in his life on a longer basis. He will be able to deliver in his work on a long period of time. So that is what we are saying, that development is not only based on income, it is also based on certain other aspects of life. Today we have discussed what is development in the life of a person. Now let us also discuss what does development mean for a country. Now we have written down certain kinds of points here, and these points will tell us about development of a country. Now, these are certain indicators of development. These are certain indicators of development, and they indicate whether the country will progress or is on the path of development. The world has been broken into 3 worlds, 3 types of worlds we see. That is the first world countries, that is the developed countries. The second world countries, that is the developing countries. And the third world countries, that is the underdeveloping countries. India is on the second stage, and we want to make our country progress to the future. That is, we are on the step of being developed. There are certain indicators, and if we work on such indicators, surely the path of development can be fulfilled. What are these indicators? Let us discuss them. The first indicator that we can see, I have written down PCI. PCI stands for per capita income. You can write down in your notebook. PCI stands for per capita income. It also means average income of a person. Now, what does average income of a person means? Average income can be found out when we divide the total income of the country by the total population. When the total income of the country is divided by the total population, we find out average income. Now, the average income, we can see an estimation was done over the average income by the World Development Bank, and the World Development Bank found out the average income of the people in India is 28,000 rupees per annum. This cannot be considered as a sign of development. You can calculate what is the income of a person in a month, and that cannot be considered as a sign of development for a person. We will also try to come out with another number of data. So first of all, let us look at this. The per capita income will show you that the average income of a person is 28,000 per annum according to the report presented by the World Development Bank in the year 2006. So we need to progress. We need to see that on the basis of per capita income whether we are growing or not. Secondly, we have GDP. GDP stands for gross domestic product. Gross domestic product means the internal income of the country. How do we calculate the internal income of the country? The internal income of the country is calculated when we do the summation of the income generated from the primary, secondary and the tertiary sector. These are the three sectors where people work. The income generated from primary, secondary and tertiary, when calculated in a year, it is called as the gross domestic product. The gross domestic product is calculated every year by the central government ministry, and it gives us an assumption about the progress of the country. The third indicator is GNP. GNP is the larger whole of the GDP. That means it includes GDP as well as the income generated by our country in the foreign countries. The Indian goods which are sold in the foreign market, whatever the Indian goods are sold in the foreign market, whatever the income is generated, the entire income which is generated from the foreign market is also brought under GNP. So GNP is the sum total of the income generated from the foreign market as well as GDP. Now, if the foreign currency increases, that means if the foreign exchange increases, whatever we are selling outside, if that increases, surely it will be growth or development for our country. The fourth indicator we can see, the fourth indicator is IMR, that is the infant mortality rate. When we see what is infant mortality rate, infants, we are considering children below 1 year, those who have not completed 1 year, and those kind of children who die before completing a year is called as infant mortality rate. The infant mortality rate in our country in the year 2011 that was calculated was 30.15%. Number of children who die among 1,000 live birth. Number of children who die among 1,000 live birth is the infant mortality rate, and the infant mortality rate in our country stands to 30.15%. Now, if we see this infant mortality rate, the lesser figure is the better indicator of development. This also shows about our healthcare system. This also shows that how developed is our healthcare system. And if we are able to reduce this figure, surely it will be a path of development. The next indicator is the sex ratio. The sex ratio means number of female per 1,000 male. The gender discrimination in our country is so huge that the number of female per thousand male according to 2011 status is 940 to 1000. Some states have even lesser figure. Kerala is the only state of India which have higher figures. The female are more in comparison to male. You have studied this in class 9. Why this sex ratio is so less? Because parents feel that gender discrimination is present in our society. The parents do not prefer to have girl child. There is aversion towards girl child. That may be due to the lack of education. That may be due to the lack of awareness. And all this are showing that we are lacking behind. A better society or a better nation will have equal sex ratio. Next, we come across another aspect, that is life expectancy. The life expectancy means the average age up to a human survives in a country, either male or either female, the average age. In our country, the average age that has been calculated in 2011 stands for male to be 67 years and for female to be 72 years. This can be increased by providing better health care, by proper diagnosis of the disease. If we diagnose the disease in a proper manner, if we are able to provide a better health care, we will be able to solve these problems very efficiently. The next indicator we can see is the literacy rate. The literacy rate of our country in the year 2011, which was calculated, was 74%. 74% of the literacy rate. Higher the literacy rate, higher will be the sign of employment. We can see that those kind of children, we have termed two kinds of cycles. One cycle has been called as the vicious cycle and another one is the virtuous cycle. You studied in class 9. The vicious cycle tells that if a rickshaw puller makes his son also drive rickshaw, that means it is a vicious cycle. But if a rickshaw puller makes his son educated and asks him to become something or other in the life, not becoming a rickshaw puller, that is a virtuous cycle. Now here also we can see in the year 2011, it was calculated that 74% of the children, 74% of the people are literate. We need to increase this literacy rate in order to make our country progress, in order to make our country go on the path of development. We can see number of students coming from the poor background competing IIT, and they have become an IITian and they have given something for the development of our country. They have given something for the betterment of our country. We can also do this. We can also develop our country by making the literacy rate or the literacy trend higher. The seventh, the last indicator that we can see is the infrastructure development. And infrastructure means the development of rail, road, water and air. These are the four modes of transport that the people move on. And these four modes of transport connect every human life. As every human life is connected with these modes of transport, so the development of the country is also based on that. Considering road provides us door-to-door service. Railway carries huge amount of traffic and goods. Water is an important means of communication to bring international goods. Air is the fastest mode of transport to reach distant areas, to fly over the remotest areas, to reach the deserts, to reach the mountains, to cross the sea and oceans. And if these modes of transport are developed, surely there will be a sign of development for the country. The other data and other activities we will discuss in the second lecture of this lesson. Thank you.